What's up, guys? Caution here, aka Meatball of Atlantis, doing another instance today called Lava Heights Elite Mode. Doing it with a 90 plus group, so we should be pretty solid. That is the recommended level that I would suggest going into Lava Heights Elite, is 90 plus. Today we are doing it with 2 healers to make it a little bit easier. If you do it with a single healer, they probably have to be really geared for Lava Heights to make it an easy run, as it is a quite healing intensive instance, and there's no problem with doing it with 2 healers. So we're going to come out to this Trumpet of War first, and you got to basically just press the trumpet 5 times in order to spawn the boss. But adds spawn every time you press the trumpet, so we're going to probably spawn adds 4 times, clear down them, and then spawn the boss on the final push. Alright, just gonna fast forward ahead to the boss fight. There's really nothing to worry about on this boss fight. It is a very simple tank and spank. There is a little bit of AoE that your healers will have to take care of, but there's nothing any significant change to the pace of the combat. It is a fairly simple boss to down first. He does have a fairly strong AoE at some points if it crits you, so do be careful. Alright, he's going to go down here, and we're going to get loot and be able to run off to the next boss now. Alright, so on this part we're just going to go up towards the Dark Altar first, and we're going to clear out all the mobs, because once you start this boss, once you defeat him, you have a 5-minute time limit to go and defeat the other boss on the other side. So we're at the side of the Dark Altar, so we're going to be doing this boss second. So we are just clearing it through, and then we're going to go back to the other side and clear that side too. And then kill the boss, and then come back over here to kill this guy. Okay, we're done at the Dark Altar now. We're heading over to the Light One, and we're going to go kill all the mobs in front of there, and then attack the boss in the White Robe as soon as we're done clearing the trash. Here we are at White Robe Orowine, or however you say his name. We're going to do the guy in the White Robe first, since he has an AoE stun that slows down the whole group's DPS, and is not so fun when you're trying to beat a timer. So we're going to do him first. Now keep in mind the timer starts after he dies. You have 5 minutes after he dies to get to the other side and defeat that boss. So yeah, this boss doesn't really do anything too special. Once again, he just does slight AoEs, an AoE stun. He does a single target stun occasionally to a random target in the group, but it shouldn't be anything that you can't handle if you are level 90. If you're coming in here at 80 or earlier, I'm not too sure if this boss will be a problem. I was extremely undergeared before I hit 90, so I didn't even try to enter this instance. I was still rocking stamp gear and level 60 SG in my level 80s, so I did not even attempt after seeing how hard normal mode was. So pretty simple. He spawned some ads too. They're not really too much of a nuisance. They go down pretty easy and they don't cause too much damage. The main thing he'll do is an AoE that's sort of painful. You should be fine with AoE healing though. He does a little bit of spike damage at the end there on his death, as do a lot of bosses in this instance actually. When they're all about to die, you want to be pretty careful when all bosses are about to die. You want to make sure everyone's topped off if possible, because a lot of the bosses in here do a little bit of spike damage once they're about to die in their last few moments of life. So now you'll see we're heading over to the dark side, and we are trying to race against the clock. We shouldn't have any problem here in beating, I think his name is Isoter or Isoper, within 5 minutes. You see the message pop up that Isoper will escape with Razil's treasure in 4 minutes. So we got to him with 4 minutes left, and we're going to take him down. He's basically the same thing as the other one. I think he doesn't have an AoE stun though. There he goes, a kind of pretty dangerous dot there, kind of doing 2k ticks on me, taking the whole party down as well. A AoE dot damage over time effect. Not too fun to get hit by, but it's not too much of a problem. Now, in his last few seconds of life, You want to be pretty careful of any AoE damage that he might do, and he does not do any. So we're fine there. It's pretty good to make habit of being overly careful when it comes to bosses being about to die. They hit that little enrage, that soft enrage. That's kind of scary at times. Speaking of scary, this instance is definitely hella scary if you're a healer. That's why we are using 2 healers. It is very healing intensive, this instance. Definitely a change of pace. Well, I'm not sure if it's a change of pace because I don't know, the game seems kind of hard from a healer point of view, being DPS. Taking the easy mode out, know what I'm saying? Anyways, we're at Lilith now. You do need an item to spawn Lilith, and it requires you to have 1 adventure coin to buy it. You buy it at the Expedition Center in Atlantis Square, at the very top of it. Anyways, about fighting Lilith. Lilith isn't actually a hard fight, just a simple tank and spank. You don't really need to know anything about it, so I'm just going to skip ahead here because this fight is extremely simple. The only thing you need to know is that you have a chance of getting the Night Witch pet, but that's about it, so good luck on that. Okay, now that Lilith's down, we are over at Raziel's throne. I believe he is the hardest boss in here. He is quite healing intensive and a scary fight at that. He has a few skills that you would want to be wary of. One is his AoE hits for about 4.5k, 9k on crit. And he has a seal that he does, which is extremely dangerous. It does 4.5k every second that you stand in it, and it has a very cool animation. In elite mode, it moves around and follows you. It does not follow you in normal mode. But I'll point it out, I'll slow the video down and draw arrows and whatnot, so you see what it looks like and what you got to look out for. So the tank is going to pull it over towards the stairs. Usually though, we usually have tanks tank it towards either the throne, so we have a lot of room to see the seal so that we can run away from it when we do manage to spot that. So there you go, there's his AoE, 4.7k crit on me. I'm going to try and DPS him down as fast as possible to make this as least painful as we can possibly make it. He just spawned 2 or 3 ads, Orc Captains. They aren't too much of a nuisance. Their damage is really not that big of a deal in comparison to all the other damage that you're taking in here. Now he's getting sort of close to halfway HP, and he has spawned the seal there. You'll see right to the left of my screen, there it is moving. And you definitely want to stay away from that seal as best you can, because you'll see my pet taking some damage here, 4.2k ticks of damage over time as long as you stand in it, so you definitely want to stay away from that. Alright, and the fight stays the exact same until the very end. When he's about to die, he's going to have some hardcore spike damage here, so he's going to hit me for 17k, and I thought that was all of it, and then he hits me again for 12.5. So it's highly recommended that you top everyone off, healers, before you go into the final few HPs of Raziel, if you want everyone to stay alive. As you see, myself and the other healer have both died, unfortunately. Okay, I'm going to fast forward to the final boss, which you summon using an item that you get off killing Raziel. And basically the main thing you got to know about Sultan is that he has a pretty vicious AoE. It's not too hard to heal through though, and he also has an ad that spawns a puppet, but it shouldn't be too bad as well. And that's basically all you need to know. You need to kill the trapped soul that spawns. It gives you a nice buff to get through Sultan's defense, because you'll be hitting him for a little bit of damage, like 100 maybe, without that holy strike buff. So you want to make sure and kill that trapped soul every time you see it spawn, and you just take him down from there. Keep everyone healed up, and that's all. Alright folks, and that's all you need to know about Lava Heights Elite. Good luck on getting your level 90 soul gears, and I will see you in game.